Right, good afternoon everyone and welcome to this week's Link for Growth show for Friday the 30th of October. This week Chris is reporting on the latest Watford market news, saying farewell to Charter Place and reporting on the Watford BID result. Tania and Catherine are here this week with me with all the latest news. Catherine has all the latest charity news and a pack full of events for your diary for this weekend, and Tania as usual has all the local news. You can contact us on at L4G SW Herts. That's at L4G SW Herts if you want to get in touch with us. And Catherine, it's going to be quite a big week, isn't it? Weekend coming up, what with Halloween and yellow comedy and all sorts.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, tonight, we're going to have to get this out before the first event that I'm going to announce, which is at 5:30 this evening. Get your spooky costumes ready. But yes, there's also comedy going on tonight with yellow comedy and a brand new venue to announce. So exciting stuff.
Yeah, and Tanya, there's lots of news from Three Rivers this week.
Heaps of stuff from Three Rivers and lots of green stuff, which is really great. I'm really pleased to see that the council in Three Rivers is asking the community about green issues that they want addressing. That's really, really important to my mind. And fantastic, over at the Aquadrome, Bury Lake Young Mariners have been awarded £150,000 from Sport England. Fantastic opportunity to get young people involved in that sort of stuff over on Ricky Aquadrome.
Okay, and Chris, you're down in Charter Place, and you've got news of Watford bid result, the latest news on the market, and the reason you're down Charter Place is to kind of say farewell. Okay, and firstly, as usual, we'll do a quick review of the Link for Growth event. It was a fairly quiet week because it was kind of like dribbling into a fifth week of events for Link for Growth. That's usually a quiet week in the month. But last Saturday we did have a Link for Coffee at Barracuda instead of Watford Market. If you saw last week's show, you know that Ray and El has taken El's Kitchen off the market, or rather being forced off, so we'll have to wait and see how that all shakes out. On Monday, Chris had an opportunity to try the carrot cake at Cafe Loco in Northwood on Monday morning, which is down near the Moore Park Tube Station. Monday evening, there was a Link for Coffee at Reason Coffee and Bookshop, where I know I actually ran into Tanya and Chris and a couple of other people there as well, so that was really nice. And yesterday morning, although it's not really Southwest Herts, Link for Growth Central Herts had a coffee morning in St Albans, and quite a few people usually go from Southwest Herts, so it's kind of half owners and everything. Anyway, Chris, as we've already seen, is down at Charter Place. Farewell to a fond friend, or good riddance to an eyesore?
bowling alley being mentioned. Yeah.
It's gone the way of the roof, Chris. Gone the way of the roof, perhaps. Okay, well, thanks for that, and Chris, and thanks for the trip down memory lane. And we'll now move on to Tania, who's going to talk about all the local news. Well, hi, Tania. Sorry about the interference.
Where this green social meetup, which I'm really, really pleased about. So the council are organising this green social meetup at the cafe in the park by the Aquadrome, Frogmore Lane, on Saturday, November the 14th. So it's a couple of weeks away, but it's your opportunity between 10:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to talk about your thoughts, projects and concerns about green issues in the area. Now, clearly we've had a bit of a green idea in Link for Growth for some time, with all the transition town stuff going on and everything. So I think this is a brilliant opportunity for anyone who's got an interest in green stuff to go down and tell the council what your interest is actually about, how interested you are and what you'd like to see in this area in terms of sustainability and green developments. So get on down there. November 14th, Saturday morning, 10:30 till 12:30.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a really good initiative because, of course, we've featured lots of green news on the show over the past few months and weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and it's really important. We only get one planet. Let's make the most of it.
Yep, and the other thing is there's a noise app that Three Rivers Council have launched.
Actually, looking at the Three Rivers website page, they've launched a bunch of apps, lots of services that you can get from your smartphone. And the first one on the list is the Noise app, which I'll come back to, but I'll go through the list of them. So there's the Noise app, there's an air pollution alert app, so you can get text messages about air pollution alerts. There's Fix My Street, so you just tap in and tell the people at the council where the street needs fixing. And there's Notice the Difference, so it's all about planning applications, local emergency services, local events, places of interest, and approved local tradespeople. So really great things that you can now get from your smartphone, attention of the council. But the Noise app is very interesting because what it does, it allows you to take your smartphone and to record the noise wherever it is that you are, and send it to the council environmental health service team. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, where I live, we had some problems with the noise from a local hotel that was playing music very late into the evening, and we had to have lots of discussions with the environmental health team to ask them to help us to get the hotel to quieten it down so that we could go to sleep. And this app clearly would help us in that situation. So really, really good. The nature of the disturbance, you enter the audio recording, the details and nature of the disturbance using your smartphone, which they then combine to make an electronic diary. Sounds like a great idea.
It does. The other thing is, of course, we did mention the Air app when it was released, and the Notice the Difference app, I noticed, is not just for Three Rivers, it's also for people in Dacorum, Watford and East Herts District Council areas.
That's right, absolutely, Diane, yes. It's all over the place at the moment, and it's been funded by the government as part of a range of pilot projects around the country. So great to see that the government's finally sort of really getting with it, with this sort of strategic development that can really help to lower council costs in the longer term. Great stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a really good initiative. The other thing is, there's a garden initiative, talking of initiatives, here in Watford, and you can get help to sort out your garden. Well, I don't have a garden, but I could.
Yes, that's right. This is the Green Aiders project, and it's actually funded by Watford Borough Council, which is fantastic because it's delivered by the Hearts Mind project. So it's something that helps older, vulnerable and disabled Watford residents. They can get a free autumn gardening visit from the Green Aiders gardening team. They help people to take back control of that brilliant green space that we have outside our window. But it's the Groundwork Hertfordshire charity that's been funded to do it, and I know that they work very closely with Hearts Mind. So it helps not only those who are getting their gardens tended, but also the people that are tending the garden. You get a one-off visit, dedicated volunteers and friendly groundwork staff get gardens back under control, make them more manageable, safer and pleasant to spend time in. At the same time, cleaning overgrown gardens makes it harder for criminals or fraudsters to identify potential targets. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, it sounds really good. It sounds really good community building initiative as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Making those contacts between the volunteers and the people in those in those homes who might feel really quite isolated, because they might be really quite isolated. So really, really great initiative. Exactly. Yeah.
And talking of great initiatives, if sort of your idea of building community is something that you do underwater, Bushy Scuba Club are offering half-price training thanks to a grant.
I tell you what, isn't this brilliant? I've always wanted to do scuba diving. Unfortunately, this is for Bushy residents, and it's for young people, so I don't think I quite qualify anymore. But yes, the diving club in Bushy has been awarded a grant to encourage young people to start up the sport of scuba diving. Bushy Borehamwood Sub-Aqua Club has been awarded £750 by Sportivate, a lottery-funded initiative designed to encourage young people find a sport that they enjoy. So they're able to help six young people to figure out if they like this through half-price membership and diving training for a year. Apparently, the club itself is really fortunate in being in the position of growing membership at a time when lots of other clubs are declining. So it's really quite a fabulous thing to be doing. Okay,
and then sticking with the watery theme, Berry Lake Mariners have been awarded £150,000 from Sports England.
Yes, that's right. 150,000 from Sports England. Brilliant stuff. It's lottery funding, boost from Sports England, Inspired Facilities Fund. So since 2011, Inspired Facilities has been helping breathe new life into tired community sporting facilities. So this sailing charity has successfully got 150 grand, and what they're going to do with it is develop and reconstruct and enlarge. So develop, reconstruct and enlarge the water sports facility over there in Ricky Aquadrome in the Berry Lake. So its improvements include redesigning clubhouse in the Aquadome, boat storage facility, workshop and new jetties. So really, really great stuff. They're investing in total 102 million into more than 1,920 projects to improve and refurbish Sports Club, and I'm really pleased that one of them's on our doorstep. It's really good.
It does sound good, and I know from someone else who works with a different charity on the lake what great fun it can be to learning to sail, and how you can learn a whole bunch of good skills beyond sailing by learning to sail.
You're absolutely right, Diane. I've got a friend whose grandchildren go down there, or the granddaughter goes down there, and she's learning to sail down there. It's fantastic. Great team building skills, brilliant resilience and tenacity. So it's a great thing for young people to be doing, and for adults to be doing. And I understand, looking at the Bury Lake Young Mariners website, that actually they do adults classes too. So this is a help for the whole community. Really great stuff.
That's great, and it's not happening till Sunday week, but a brief mention about where they're going to be holding the Watford Reef laying ceremony for the Remembrance Sunday.
Yeah, Remembrance Sunday, of course, is on the 13th, which is the middle of the week, I think, this year. And on Sunday before Remembrance Sunday, the 8th of November at 3 p.m, the Mayor and the Council will be outside Watford Peace Memorial, outside the Watford Town Hall. The Peace Memorial there at the top of the slope outside the town hall, and they'll be joined by representatives of organisations in the town to lay wreaths in remembrance of those who've suffered as a result of war or conflict. And I'm really pleased that it's called a Peace Memorial and not a War Memorial. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, and finally, we've been talking about this for a little while. The deadline is very fast approaching now for to get your registration in, isn't it? Your voter registration.
Yes, your electoral roll registration. Apparently there's still about 10% of the population who've not necessarily got their registration forms in. And lovely Dorothy's wagging her finger saying it's about time you got them in, people. You've had the letters, in fact you've had 2 letters sent to you. You've had the canvassers on your door. It's about time you did it, because otherwise what they're also saying is they could charge you with a fine of £1,000. So whether they'd actually do that or not, I don't know. But there are loads of things, and it's really important to have your say in how the council runs your services. Now, this is your money that they're spending. This is your opportunity to, in a voting setting, to have your say about how they're spending it. There's current boundary issues, and here it does say there are a number of things to vote on in the next year, and it did tell me what those were, and I can't see it now. So anyway, there's a number of things to vote on. Get your registration in and have your say.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Tania. And Neil is away, so I am once again substituting for him to deal with the sports news. A lot of the coverage, of course, has been about Watford's second away victory of the season, a 2-0 victory at Stoke City, with Troy Deeney, the Watford captain, and Talisman, who Neil talks a lot about, and Alman Abdi, both opening their Premier League scoring careers last Saturday. It was a game apparently that Watford did really well in terms of not only winning it, but in controlling the game and everything. And the opposition manager, Mark Hughes, was full of praise for Watford and what they'd done. Michael, one of the big surprises of the day was that the regular defender was Pirot, was replaced by one of the substitute central defenders called Mikael Britos, whose claim to fame was that he played, well, once for Watford, being sent off on his debut. His last game in Italy, because he was one of the 15 signings that came into Watford, was also, he was sent off. So this was his real kind of first chance to play a full game, and apparently he did really well and formed a good partnership with Craig Cathcart in the centre of the defence. So there's a lot of questioning of the manager, but the manager obviously did what he thought was best. Sanchez Flores, and obviously it worked out well for him. And Sanchez Florence is also saying that he's really appreciative of all the support and the enthusiasm of all the Watford supporters, and he's quoted as saying, "I want to jump into the stand and hug every fan to say thank you for all the support the Watford team supporters have given the team and given him since his arrival in the summer." Obviously, it's a big step up this year, as Neil's talked about, the differences between the Championship and the Premier League. I don't fully understand what those differences are, but Neil does talk about how difficult and how big a standard the gap is between the two. A lot of people are also talking about the next game, which is against West Ham, which kicks off tomorrow at 3 o'clock at Watford. There's some disappointment as to the fact that Watford's results have been better away from home than they have been at home, with various players talking about that particular issue and saying that it's the way the Watford players that perhaps are better because away from their style of play is better suited for away from home than it is at home. But a lot of people are saying that Watford are now playing very confidently. It's the fact they've now played 10 games, they've got 13 points. I think it's seen as a good return of points for games for the team, who are now sitting 13th when they were in the table, when they were predicted to come bottom at the start of the season by many pundits, as Neil discussed at the time, I remember. So obviously lots of people are saying, yeah, this is really good, that Watford are going well, and that the fact that lots of teams come to Watford and defend is also a testament to how good Watford are, and are no longer seen as being an easy pushover in that by the other teams in the Premier League. Now tomorrow they're playing at home, as I said earlier, against third place West Ham United, who are something of a surprise package in the Premier League this season. They've done really well away from home. They have won several of their away games, and they haven't lost any in the last 5 games. So it should be a very tight game. Watford are waiting for the fitness on Gerardo, their midfielder, who's been missing for the last couple of weeks, having been injured in the Arsenal game. So again, it should be hopefully a good game. The West Ham manager is full of praise for Watford. The Watford manager is full of praise for West Ham. So hopefully it'll be a good game. West Ham have a tradition of playing fast attacking football. So hopefully Watford can come away with all 3 points. Then Kings Langley had an excellent week start in the last week. Starting off with the league game, they won 6-1 at home against Barton Rovers last week. And then apparently it was the best performance of the season so far by Kings Langley. They scored in the first quarter of an hour after 16 minutes, and then they scored again at regular intervals throughout the entire game, with the last goal coming in the 88th minute. Apparently it was their best game of the season, and that good result was followed up by another good result when they won again in the league, away to Uxbridge Town this time, 2-0. This leaves, this puts Kings Langley 5th in their league. So I know Martin Whitman was talking about how well they've done and how they'd had successive promotions. Yeah, who knows? Are they going to get a 3rd successive promotion? They're obviously doing very well to be 5th, having been promoted. They're obviously not finding this league too difficult for them. So that's encouraging start to the season for Kings Langley. The next game they have is tomorrow, and it's an FA Trophy game, qualifying round 1. The club, though, that's Kings Langley, will be running a coach to Bury Town for the game. The coach will depart from Greywood Park, which is where Kings Langley play, at 10:45. and return from Bury at approximately 6 p.m. There's plenty of room for any supporters wishing to travel with the team. And more details are available on the Kings Langley FC website if you're interested in going. Finally, on Tuesday, in the Herts Senior Challenge Cup, Kings Langley are away to Berkhamsted. The kick-off time is at 19:45, so in other words, 7:45, quarter to 8. And that is all the sports news for this week. So I shall now say hello, Catherine.
Hello, Diane.
Sorry to inflict all that sports news on you, but you couldn't join in this week.
No, sorry. No idea about sports, I'm afraid.
No, neither do I till 5 to 3 when I suddenly have to read all this for the next week. No, Neil's much more fluent. He understands it and knows it and follows it deeply, so it's really good. Anyway, so we've just been talking of football, and the Golden Boys, which is the term, one of the terms used for Watford, have donated shirts to help, and they've raised a record number, or given a record number of shirts.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a lovely story, actually. The Golden Boys shirts have been donated by Hornets fans, and they've helped to contribute to a record-breaking achievement for a charity supported by former Watford and England football manager Graham Taylor. So thousands of contributions from Watford FC shirts has gone towards Kit Aid. This is the charity that Graham Taylor's patron of, and they give unwanted football kits to children and adults in need around the world. And the record-breaking milestone was 302,000 kit donations, which is pretty amazing, really. The kit gets donated to people all around the world, especially in various regions of South Africa. The record was secured at a recent boxing up session at the charity base in Hatfield. They had a pre-season open day event, and all these kits are now on their way to youngsters in South Africa and other places in the world. Kit Aid patron Graham Taylor, who's been part of the charity for nearly a decade, was delighted to discover that golden shirts are creating golden smiles around the globe. I thought that was a lovely quote.
Yes, I agree. It is a really nice quote. And of course, tomorrow is Halloween, so there's lots of spectacular things happening tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, quite. I'm going to say yes, it's tomorrow, but actually a lot of things are starting tonight. The Watford Borough Council have arranged various things. Two of these are going on. Well, one of them starts this evening. This is at Hairbreaks Adventure Playground. This is in Legates Way, starting from 5:30. So you've got just under an hour to get down there. Starting at 5:30 through till 8 this evening. There's fancy dress. There's prizes for best fancy dress. There's a spooky clue hunt. Creepy graveyard and Halloween food. That sounds lovely, including pumpkin soup cooked on the fire. So family fun down at the Hairbreaks Adventure Playground from 5:30 this evening. And then tomorrow, another adventure playground in Watford, but in Harwoods this time, Harwoods Adventure Playground in Vicarage Road from 6 till 8 tomorrow evening. There's also going to be a disco, again prizes for best dressed costumes, dancing, a scary walk, and a dungeon for the parents. Not so sure about that bit. No need to book in advance for either party, just turn up, it's free, go along and have some spooky fun.
Okay, well, that sounds really good. And talking of fun, there's a Community at the Coliseum event coming up hosted by Watford Community Housing Trust.
Yeah, this is, I haven't seen it broadcast widely. I had to hunt for information on it today. But yes, this is at Watford Coliseum, organised by Watford Community Housing Trust. And supported by lots of different groups. Again, it's a family fun day, obviously raising money for the trust. The headline act on that really would be worth seeing would be Ashley and Pudsey. Now, these were Britain's Got Talent winners last year, and it was just absolutely amazing to see. Not last year, no, it was a few years ago. It was not the dog act last year, wasn't it? But this was amazing to see this girl and her dog and all the tricks that they do together. So lots of family fun. There's the Dan Tien Performing Arts School are going to be there. Rob Miller, who's a performer, talented singer and guitarist, is going to be there. Granny Turismo, shopping trolley dance display team. I've got a feeling they've performed in Watford High Street before in one of the big events. I'm sure I've seen them before. And Rock Chorus is going to be there as well. So lots and lots going on. This is tomorrow at Watford Coliseum, 11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon.
Okay, that's great. And if well, running is your thing, and you had a fine opportunity to raise money for the Ricky Road Run.
Yeah, this is another record smashed, actually. So they're saying more than 500 people came to raise money for. Who were they raising money for? I'll come to that in a moment. But yeah, more than 500 people turned up this year. It's a 10-mile Ricky Road Run, and this was last Sunday, and more than 500 runners turned up. It's been going 32 years, and cash raised will go to Watford MenCap, as well as Water Aid and Kit Aid. So 3 very, very worthy causes. The Ricky Road one was founded in 1984 as part of the centenary for what was then known as Rickmansworth Water Company, hence the link with the water charity. But yeah, it was a fantastic event by the sound of it. And it's raised over a number of years. It's raised over £350,000 for Water Aid, Kit Aid, and other charities. They haven't said how much money was raised this year, but I'm sure that will be announced as soon as they've got all the money in.
Yeah, and if you're after all that running last weekend, you fancy a quiet, relaxing Sunday afternoon, you can at St Paul's Proms.
Yeah, 20th annual St Paul's Proms. St Paul's Church is in Bushy Hall Road. So as you go from Water Lane from Watford High Street going up towards Bushy, you hit Water Hall, not hit literally, but you hit Bushy Hall Road going up there, and on the left is St Paul's Church. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday, they've got a concert at 3 in the afternoon. It's free, so you can go and enjoy the music of Carl Rennie, singing guitarist and clarinetist. As I say, it's absolutely free. There will be a collection for the Peace Hospice at the end of the concert, but yeah, it's a free prom concert here in Watford.
Okay, and if you fancy a good laugh, Yellow Comedy is the place to be this weekend.
It certainly is, but not at Reason this week. No, no, no. We're at Attico tonight. First time at a new venue. If you don't know where Attico is, go down the High Street. Carry on going down from the town hall all the way down to Lower High Street. You'll see a sign for Attico on the pavement. I think it's either just after or just before Bill's Restaurant, but there's they normally have an A-frame sign on the pavement directing you down a little alleyway. If you were watching the show last week, or was it the week before, I'm not sure now, Chris interviewed the guy down at Attico, and it's a fantastic space up there. So if you fancy a bit of a laugh, go down there tonight. 7:30 the doors open, comedy starts at 8. Headline is L.J. Da Funk. I have it on good authority that he's a great routine. He's a self-styled New York gangster, but he's one of many comedians that take part. There's normally 7 or 8 that take part in a comedy evening, and the evening is emceed and hosted by Andrew Carberry from Yellow Comedy. It's a great night. Go along and have some fun.
Yep, and Yellow Comedy have got another performance. Andrew's going to be busy this weekend on Sunday at the Pump House.
Yeah, absolutely. This is their normal stomping ground at the Pump House. Gosh, where to explain where the Pump House is? Carry on down Lower High Street. On the right, you'll see a sign for, is it Local Board Road?
Yeah, it's down near the retail park, isn't it? It's the best way to describe it.
Absolutely. It is Local Board Road, Lower High Street, Watford. Again, doors open at 7:30. There's actually quite a bit of parking down there. As long as you get in there early, it can get a bit busy down there, but it's a lovely venue. 7:30 doors open, comedy starts at 8. Headlining that show will be Lucas Jolson. Again, there'll be another selection of comedians, something for everyone. There's usually a whole range of different comedy styles. So yeah, that's another one to put in the diary.
Yeah, it's usually very good, the Yellow Comedy down at the Pump House. Lucas Jolson is someone I don't think has headlined for them before, but I might be wrong. But it's usually a really good time. And then if you're really into the visual arts, perhaps, on Tuesday evening, Watford and Bushy Art Society have their next meeting.
Yeah, this looks like quite an interesting one. They're having a demonstration, excuse me, having a demonstration with Peter Keegan, who specialises in oils. He does portraits, he does landscapes in oils, and what he does particularly well is use a palette knife. So it's more a sort of sculpted art piece rather than fine brushstrokes. He likes to bring his subjects to life with picking out the bits of character from what he can see. So I'd imagine it will be a pretty interesting demonstration. So this is Watford and Bushy Art Society. This is their November meeting, Tuesday the 3rd of November, 7:30 to 9:30. Everybody is welcome. If you head down to the Tennet Hall at Watford Grammar School for Girls in Ladies Close, then you'll enjoy a fantastic evening by the sound of it.
Yes, I think for non-members it's £4 entry.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's free for members, and if you're not a member, £4 at the door. £4 well spent, I would say.
Yeah, and last week we talked about how MGF, Michael Green Foundation, that is, sorry, had a runner taking part in some big event last weekend. So what happened? How did it go?
Well, I haven't spoken to him personally, but I know Joanne did. Yeah, he was really pleased with his time. It was a good day for it. I think he probably had better weather than we did here. But amazingly, he's raised over £1,200 on his giving page. So absolutely fantastic. Well done, Dean, for running, and well done everybody that sponsored him. It's absolutely fantastic effort, and all the money is going to Michael Green Foundation.
So Dean was running from Bristol to Bath, was
Bristol
it?
to Bath, yes, yeah. Obviously, full marathon. So I don't know his time. I must try and get hold of him. But I was tweeting my congratulations. I knew he'd finished, but I didn't know what time it was. But I'll see if I can find out.
Okay, that's great. And we'll come back to you a bit later on for the restaurant review. But it's back to Chris for now, because Chris, last night Watford Planning Authority, or the committee, allowed planning permission for the German market we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, because there's a lot of interference on the line. So last night they gave permission for this meeting, for this festival. It's breaking news. So, any reaction down there? Okay. Mandy, that you referred to earlier, is the chief executive of Watford Council, isn't it? Not the chair. No, that's okay. I just double checked on the website. That was all. Okay. So are you now going to wander up? And whilst you're wandering up, I'll get Catherine to do the restaurant review then. Well, Chris, you shouldn't make love.
We're going to have to give you a bobble hat, Chris.
Right, well, I'm going to talk about Link for Growth events that are coming up, and then we'll talk about the market. So go off and find someone to interview, Chris, and you know, that'd be great. Next week, being the first week in the month, we have quite a few events coming up for Link for Growth, starting tomorrow with Link for Coffee at Barracuda Cafe next to the market. Chris was talking about coffee earlier, so it seems appropriate. It's a great opportunity to go down there and speak to Chris and talk about some of the events that are happening for Link for Growth and what it means and how it grows and builds. Starts at 10 o'clock. Chris is usually there till about 11:30. As I said, it's at Barracuda Cafe next to Watford Market. We used to hold it at L's Cafe on the market, but for reasons you know about from last week's show, you know that that's no longer possible at the moment. Then on Monday night, Chris has yet another opportunity to try lemon drizzle cake at the kitchen in Croxley Green opposite the tube station. This is the afternoon coffee, starting at 5:30, going on till 7 o'clock. It's a coffee shop that we've featured quite a lot of recently in Link for Growth because it's won national awards for the quality of its cakes and its baking. And apparently they also do very good coffee down there. On Wednesday, there's a Link for Coffee at the Regis in Clarendon Road, Watford, starting at 10 o'clock, going on to 11:30. And that is usually a very well attended meeting for Link for Growth. We have had up to 20 odd people there at any one meeting. It's also a great, easy to get to venue, being straight in the middle of town. There's a couple of buses that stop almost outside the front door if you don't have your own car. Then on Thursday we're back in Carpenter's Park at the Perk Coffee on in that little parade of shops fairly near to the station in Carpenter's Park. This Link for Coffee starts at 9:30 and goes on to 11, so it starts half an hour earlier than the usual Link for Coffee events. It's a really good meeting. It's usually, again, quite well attended. And finally, on Friday at Scotsbridge Mill, they're going to host the monthly CSR lunch, which is a great opportunity for charities and businesses to get together over an informal lunch to get to know each other and see how they can help each other out. The lunch starts at 12 and ends at 2. So that's what's happening next week. Chris, are you going to talk about Watford Market? I don't think he is. Chris, can you hear me? Are you going to talk about the Watford Market? Obviously not. So, Catherine, it's time for the restaurant review.
Absolutely. Well, I think that led on very nicely from Scotsbridge Mill to restaurant review. And very strangely, I've chosen Barracuda, which is somewhere that we had lunch in last Saturday. We have eaten there before, and it's a lovely little place, actually. During the summer, there's a very nice area outside for alfresco dining or lunching or brunching, whatever takes your fancy, or just a simple coffee. It's a very, very nice restaurant. They're very friendly in there. It's basically a sort of Mediterranean feel to the menu. So you can have lots of fishy things, meaty things, pizza, pasta, mussels, calamari, a whole range of things. I had a really nice, it was one of their specials. It was a really nice pasta with chorizo and a cherry tomato sauce last week, and it was really, really lovely, nice and fresh. But yeah, an eclectic menu, lots of Mediterranean things. The restaurant itself was started by two brothers a few years ago, 6 years ago, I think it was. They've got Barracuda in Watford. They've got another one in East Finchley, and they seem to run them in a very sort of local, community-based sort of way. So as I say, it seems to be a place for everyone any time of day. You can have a nice casual coffee and a chat with a friend there during the day, or obviously a Link for Growth meeting, absolutely ideal location. Or in the evening, lights are dimmed, and you can have a lovely evening meal with friends with lots of fresh food. Wherever possible, they try to locally source their food, which is also important as well. So yeah, I'd recommend Barracuda. Go along, have a coffee, have a lunch, have an evening meal, see what you think. It's open every day. Monday to Saturday, it's open 7 till 10:30. That's 10:30 at night, not just 7 till 10:30 in the morning. Sunday, 8:30 till 5. So plenty of opportunity to pop in and experience Barracuda.
Okay, that's great. And Chris, finally, have you made your way to the market? No, I don't think he has. So I think it's near enough out for time.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it is getting rather late. and and of course the ice rink is coming at roughly the same time, isn't it? They they're coming through okay at my end, yes.
Yes. I was going to add to at the big skate. Apparently, it's going to be a bigger rink this year, so we're told.
No, I'll be looking round the corner, Chris.
Okay, well on that positive note, and we've already had Catherine's restaurant review. Barracuda's featured quite a lot this week. Perhaps we should ask for sponsorship. It's time for us all to say cheerio.
It was Barracuda. Oh, yeah. Well, we had a really lovely lunch there last Saturday. But Barracuda seems to have featured in every part of the show today. Yay.
Okay, well cheerio then, and thanks to Chris. And Tania?